Alright guys, this might not be the most high quality video, but I wanted to shoot it real quick while I was out here working on our fence charger. We have been using the Cyclops fence chargers for over 3 years now, and they are awesome. They are awesome because you can service them yourself. Their customer support is outstanding, and I'm actually going to open one up here real quick and do a quick repair on it, because I think I got hit by lightning and it's been working, but it's not been working the right way. So what we're doing is we called up the company real quick, got on customer support, talked directly with them about how we can fix it without shipping it back to them and going through the whole repair process. Is you can literally open these units up and they pretty much have them set up so that you can plug and play different pieces into them to remedy the problem that you might have. So Cyclops fence chargers, they've been awesome, great American-based company, and they just have, you have great service from them right away. And I just like working with companies that, that have great customer service. Super thankful for them, and we're gonna take you through the process real quick here, possibly. Everyone's got that space in their barn where they've got things up and out of the way so that you don't get animals getting at them or water getting into them. And it worked out for us that we had a power source up here already. If you haven't seen our video on why smart plugs make a huge difference for us here at the farm, check that one out. It's going to be up here somewhere. But having the smart plugs for our solar chargers / energy chargers type of stuff, fence chargers, all those types of things are great. So tip number one, before you take your stuff apart, even though it's not that difficult, is take a quick picture of it. Use your phone, take a quick picture of it, and that way when you're taking apart equipment, you have a quick reference point. You don't have to take notes anymore. You can take a quick picture and get access to it. Alright, so like I said, not the highest quality video, but at least you're getting the information here. So this is our charger. I brought it in from the barn. I give it a quick wipe down. You've got your positive and negative terminals on here. And then on the back, you've got 4 screws that are up in the corners right here. So I'm going to take those 4 screws off, and the whole back is going to pop off here. So I'll give you access to it. But they have external fuses, one on this side and one on this side. You have your output fuse, and then I forget what the other fuse is on this side. I'm not a fence technician, but you have 2 fuses that are super nice because they're the quick blow fuses, so that if you have issues with your fence or electricity, like a lightning strike, it kind of fries a non-essential part of the fence charger so that you can keep your stuff in service and then fix it real quick. So we're going to take the 4 screws off the back, pop it off, and I'll show you the inside of this real quick. 4 screws popped off the back, the cover comes off, and you have some pieces up in here that are at the face of it that are just quick connect plugged into here, and then you've got some other different pieces that you can replace in a modular fashion if there's an issue. So like if you have one issue, they can kind of give you some guidance over the phone with the tech team as far as what's going on with it, and then they can just ship out the part to you if there's an issue with it. So in this case, I've got one of my fuse spots right here. It's got a bad connection inside of it. I think that's because we got hit by lightning during a storm, and it caused it to have a weak contact or corrosion in there. So it's literally just popping this piece out right underneath here and getting that piece switched out and then getting it back in service. So super nice when you have equipment that you can service yourself, that you don't have to ship the whole thing out, be out of service for them to fix it and then ship it back. You can just talk to them over the phone. They can send you some, a few dollar parts. I think these were like $7 a piece or something like that. So you can have some parts on hand, or have them ship them out to you and be back up and running in no time flat. So I'm gonna dive into this real quick, replace that part, and get this thing back up and running. So like I said, this is the contact that's got the issue with it right here. It's the fuse. You can see it's getting all corroded and having a contact issue. So that usually is because the electric is shorting out and not making a full contact. So like I said, a cheap $7 part will keep your multi-$100 piece of equipment from failing on a catastrophic level. And that piece is going to sit right in here. So I'm literally just popping these 2 quick connects off of the board right here. I took the 2 board mounts out of place from right in here. And then I'm just going to unscrew this little keeper nut back here and get that thing swapped out there. Simple tip. But just to get these keeper nuts off, grab yourself a flathead screwdriver. You just kind of take and roll it across it and get it loosened up so that you can get it out of there. You don't need to get an actual pair of pliers into there. You just need to loosen up the edge of it and get it kind of rolling off of there, and then you can just unscrew it. So about 5 to 8 minutes time here. I pulled these 2 screws out right here, disconnected these 2 terminals right here, and pulled this piece out. And that was the keeper nut right there that I was trying to show you in the other view there. So that's the keeper nut in the back of it right there. So literally you put these two back in place, screw this back in place, and then we're just gonna put the back on and we are back in business. So about 15 minutes taking it down, putting it back on, and getting it back together there. One other tip I forgot to mention before is while I'm in here, I usually check two other things, and that's the two front terminals, your red and your black terminal. They're supposed to have keeper nuts on them and there's like lock nuts on them and stuff like that, but I have noticed that that is something that they do come loose sometimes. So it's just a good maintenance point real quick while you're in here and the units open up like this. On the front of it right here, bad view, but there's those two terminals that you have to use, and you can actually tighten them down from the back. So while you have things open up, you can quick pull off these panels and get in behind them to tighten down those terminals. So once again, guys, not a super in-depth video this time. I just want to get on here and show you kind of like everyday maintenance, what we have to do for keeping our hot wire fence in place and working the right way, and then just having products on the farm once again that you can service and that you can take care of, that don't like take you out of commission or cost you hundreds or thousands of dollars when they go down on you, that you can fix them pretty quickly. All right, so the last thing I'm going to do before I take it back out to the barn is just give it a quick plug and test in here. You can get the electrical testers and like all that type of stuff, continuity testers, all of this stuff, or you can just take and plug it in real quick. Make sure it starts clicking for you. This is the light that should be clicking right here. You should hear that noise. And then take your just your voltage tester that you would normally use on your fence and put your positive side here and see if it's getting any readout at all. And it's getting a light readout there just because I have no ground connected to it. But then as soon as I take and put the ground side to it, it should be hitting at full value with the brightness that changes there. So you can do this with a digital or a just a color, light read like this one here. We've had a couple different ones. I just grabbed this one real quick here, and that's the way to test it before you take it outside. So I didn't get this beforehand because it wasn't working and you couldn't see it, but this is back up and running. The light's clicking on here. You can hear a very quiet click in the background. What was happening before is because of that bad contact in there, when it did make contact, it was making a very loud, clicking pop because it was arcing. So that was an indication that we knew that there was a problem. So there should be a quiet click every time that light lights up to let you know it's pulsating and energizing the right way. And then the last thing I'm going to do to verify everything is go out with the fence tester and do a quick test on the fence and make sure that we got a good hot fence system. Alright, so I'm going to try to do this without getting zapped, because getting hit by 8 or 10,000 volts of electricity kind of stinks. So I'll put the ground in the ground first here. It's just a voltmeter is all it is, a digital voltmeter. And so right now, if you can see, it's just in the ground. Contact with the ground is 0.1. So it's just earth contact right there. And then what we're going to do is connect to the fence and verify. And now we're at, I like to sit around at least 8, which probably tells me that the ground's just a little bit drier than it needs to be. We have good ground rods. We have a bunch of ground rods in there. But we're at 7.7, 7.9, almost 8. This will go all the way up to 10, no problem. So there's probably just something making some contact on it to ground it out a little bit. But we're back to where we have a hot fence hitting. The horse, the sheep, all those guys, they respect this when it's hot and it's warm, it's running the right way. So having a good hot fence is essential, and having that system in place. So, and the brains of all of that is your Energizer. And now we're hitting back up to like 8.8, 8.9. So there's some variation that goes on with that. Yeah, it's just based on moisture and whatnot there. So overall, good hot fence. We'll keep the animals in. They respect it. Once they have that memorable experience 1 or 2 times, they usually start respecting your hot wire fence and anything that looks like a hot wire fence.